am Sophie Viola, Ombudsman.
My name is Trey Reckling, and I'm also an ombudsman.
I have a background in counseling psychology. My undergraduate is psychology with a concentration in criminal justice. My graduate work is in professional counseling. So I started at SCAD about 6 years ago in the counseling department, Counseling and Student Support Services, as a counselor and disability specialist. And I was here on the Savannah campus for 3.5 years, moved to the Atlanta campus, and took the Director of Counseling and Student Support Services. And after 1.5 years, came back to Savannah campus and started working with Trey in the Office of Ombudsman.
I came to SCAD with undergraduate degree in theater and a graduate degree in therapeutic recreation. So at one time I was planning on working with people with psychological disorders, maybe physical disabilities, and empowering those groups that can be marginalized to be more part of the society that they're part of. And then, but through graduate school, really got interested in student services, and so that's how I got my start at SCAD. I was working in residence life and then in student involvement. We did a lot of work with conflict resolution, and so kind of naturally, well, I guess naturally, out of that was, I was able to take this position and get it started, get it started here at SCAD.
We are a resource for students, faculty, and staff. So we are independent, informal, confidential, neutral resource. So if students, faculty, or staff have an issue, they don't know how to resolve it or where to go to resolve, then they can come to our office and we'll sit down and talk about what their options are. And then they decide how they'd like to resolve it based on some of the options maybe that we talked about, or they may choose that they don't want to do anything at this time, so we may have repeat customers coming back later to decide that they're ready to make the change or to discuss one of the options. We're all about options and helping them help themselves resolve the issue.
I think a lot of it just truly comes down to communication. As cliche as that sounds, sometimes folks may have jumped to a conclusion. Sometimes folks may have just had a poor initial encounter with one another. At times, it's just an opportunity for us to be involved as a mediator or a liaison to try to bring folks back together to talk. We always prefer, to do some coaching. We prefer not to act as a surrogate for the person if we can empower them to resolve an issue and kind of take care of things themselves, especially with students. We think our role as educators is so key, and that part of their professional development is so important to their success as a professional in the field that as much as possible we want to coach them and give them those tools.
It could be anything from how to appeal, how to go through an academic appeal, or how to approach a subject with a professor. It could be maybe issues with different departments on campus, or maybe what their options are to look for additional funding for college. And I also refer to different departments as well. So if they haven't checked with certain resources that are on campus, I help them connect with those resources.
That's a good question. Well, of course, we always need to be looking ahead to SCAD's growth and what we may need in Hong Kong. This year, one of the more immediate plans is to roll out more accessibility or make people more aware of our accessibility online. So really reaching out to our e-learners, and we've begun by being part of some of the video chats. We're going to be available to all students this year, and this is very important, to all students through Skype as a tool to try to save them some time, make it more convenient. And so if somebody wants to call up and make an appointment, a Skype appointment, we'd be happy to do that. And it's certainly good if you're at a distance and would like to see somebody, because sometimes the eyes mean everything, or just being able to be face to face with someone. If you're in Atlanta or if you're an e-learner, or somewhere else, we hope, even Lacoste, that it'll help folks to connect a little bit and make us feel a little bit more present, even though we might not be right in front of them. So that's one of the focuses, and then we always want to be proactive. We never want to just be a reactionary force. So we try to get out, be in front of faculty, staff, and students. We try to do a fair amount of training on campus, whether it be with communication skills, FERPA to help educate students about their rights, and faculty and staff about how we protect those rights, or some other. So we're open to ideas too. If people would like us to come in and help lead a session, we're real open to that sort of invitation as well.